The man came into the masjid of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he prayed 2 rakat, and he prayed very quickly. And then after praying those 2 rakat, he came and he said, "Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah." The Prophet said to him sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Irja' fa salli fa innaka lam tusalli." Go back and pray, because you didn't pray. The man went back the second time. He prayed very quickly. He came and said, "Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah." He said, "Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah." Go back and pray. You didn't pray. He went back a third time. He prayed very quickly. He came, "Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah." He said, "Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah." Go back and pray, because you didn't pray. The man said, "Ya Rasulullah, teach me. I don't know." And then the Nabi explained to him, if you want to make salat, make a good wudu. After making wudu, stand up and face the Qibla. Say Allahu Akbar. Read what's easy for you from the Quran. Say Allahu Akbar. Go into ruku' and take your time. And then come up and say Sami Allah liman hamida. And he went through the whole prayer. The point is, the man prayed, but according to the standard of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he didn't pray. How many people, this is their condition? He fasts, but according to the standard of al-Islam and the Sunnah, he didn't fast. So what we want to take a look at today, Ikhwani, is not just the importance of the Salah, but the way the companions used to look at the prayer. The way that the Salaf of this Ummah, there's a masjid, Ahlul Hadith. When Al-Imam Ahmed was asked, who are Ahlul Hadith? Who are Ahlul Hadith? Al-Imam Ahmed said, Ahlul Hadith, hum alladhina ya'maluna bil hadith. They're the ones who work by the hadith. If the hadith goes against their culture, they're Ahlul Hadith. The people of Al-Hadith, on the day of Al-Jum'ah, they know the etiquettes of coming to the masjid for Jum'ah. There are a lot of rewards that have been established for the one who knows what he's doing for the Salat of Al-Jum'ah. If he puts on nice clothes, if he takes a shower, if he puts perfume on, and he comes to the masjid and he fills in the spaces, for every right step a hasana, for every left step a sayyi'ah. What about the one who sits on the back of the wall? He puts himself out of the reward. I don't say you're haram, you're going to the hellfire. What I'm saying, Ahlul Hadith, they have to know these simple things. They're easy things. I'm not putting anybody down, but it is not enough for a person to say Ahlul Hadith and his culture is against what Ahlul Hadith are upon. How were the companions in regard to Salat? Before even dealing with that, Ikhwani, know this for a fact. The Nabi told the people sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Inna awwala ma yuhasabu bihi al-abdu min a'malihi yawm al-qiyamah as-salat." The very first thing Allah is going to ask you about, you and you, very first thing yawm al-qiyamah, when the person is standing there, Allah is going to ask him about his prayer. He's not going to ask about birru walidain. He's not going to ask about riba. He's not going to ask about siyam, hajj, umrah. He's going to ask you about what did you do about those prayers. We have a lot of youngsters in this masjid right now. And this is not only for the youngsters, but the Nabi told us about our religion sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, "Ju'ilat liya al-ard masjidan wa tahura, fa ayyuma rajulun adrakathu salat falyusalli." The whole world, the whole earth has been made for me and my ummah a masjid and a purifier. So whenever the time for salat comes, anybody, everyone has to pray. The Muslim doesn't have an excuse. I don't have any water. The earth has been made a purifier. Make tayammum. The person says, but I'm not in the masjid. I'm not in the place of prayer. I'm in the university. Al-Islam says you have to go and find a place to pray. Islam gave us a window of opportunity. If you can't pray right on time, you have to pray somewhere in between that time. The Muslim doesn't have a right. Even the Muslim doctor, his job is to do brain surgery, to do a heart transplant. It's going to take him 8 hours to do the operation. Al-Islam says to that doctor, you are allowed to combine Dhuhr and Asr. You are allowed to combine Maghrib and Isha. The Salat is never taken off of the man. The man can't pray standing up. He has to pray sitting down. The person is paralyzed on his back. He has to pray on his back. Salat won't be taken off of you. Look at the Salat with the companions. There is one of the Tabi'een. They're the people who learn from the companions. His name is Abdullah ibn Shaqiq al-Uqayli. He learned from over 30 of the companions. He said, "Kana ashabun Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam la yaruna shay'in min al-a'mal tarkuhu kufra ghayr as-salat." He said those companions of the Nabi, they didn't look at anything that a person abandoned from the deeds as kufr other than the prayer. during the time of the companions, if they knew you were a person who didn't give zakat, they made excuses for you. They said maybe zakat is not wajib. If they knew you were a person you weren't eating, or you were eating and not fasting, they said maybe he's sick, maybe he's a traveler. If you were a person who didn't make hajj, they would make excuses. The lady doesn't wear hijab. The companions used to say maybe she's a new Muslim, maybe she's from the desert, maybe she's a slave. But if the companion knew this person is not praying, the companion said he's a kafir. There were no ifs and buts about it. That person is a kafir. And that's because of all of the ahadith of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Al-ahdu alladhi baynana wa baynahum as-salah. Man tarakaha faqad kafara. The difference between us and those people, Sikhs, Hindus, Jews, Christians, atheists, agnostics, the difference between us and them is salat. Anyone who abandons it, he's a disbeliever. So I ask you people sitting here today, how many people do you know from your relatives, they don't pray? How many people do you know from your neighbors, they don't pray? How many people do you know from your wife's family, they don't pray? If the companions knew those individuals, they said, he's a munafiq, he's a kafir. How did the companions look at the salat? One of the tabi'een, and again the tabi'un, they were the people who were taught by the companions. His name is Ibrahim al-Nakhi'i, one of the tremendous tabi'een, taught by Abdullah bin Mas'ud. Abdullah bin Mas'ud taught Ibrahim al-Nakhi'i. Ibrahim al-Nakhi'i taught al-Imam Hamad ibn Abi Sulaiman, who taught Abu Hanifa. But people, if you would ask them, what's the aqidah of Imam Ibrahim al-Nakhi, who taught the Sheikh of Abu Hanifa, they don't know. How was Al-Imam Ibrahim al-Nakhi? He said, may Allah Ta'ala have mercy upon him. كانوا إذا أتوا الرجل يأخذ عنه العلم نظروا إلى صلاته وهديه وسمته. He said in the past, Ibrahim al-Nakhi from the Tabi'in, if they went to take knowledge from a man, before they took knowledge from the man, they would look at his prayer. Before taking knowledge from the man, they would look at his hadi, his guidance. Does he drink with his right hand? Does he eat with his right hand? Or does he do it with his left hand? They would look at the way the man was, how the man existed amongst the people. He said, and they would look at also his samt, just his general behavior. So they came all the way from Kufa, from Khurasan, from Egypt, wherever they came to the masjid to take knowledge from the scholar of that place. They wouldn't just go to that man and say, hey, I came from Yemen, I want to take knowledge from you. They would remain quiet and they would wait to look at how that man prayed. Did he pray towards a sutra? Did he do raf'ul yadayn? Did he take his time in the salat? Or when he prayed, was he looking around like that? Was he one of those individuals that his prayer was in one valley and the salat of the Nabi was in another valley altogether? The Nabi told us sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and many of us get it twisted in this recession. The CEOs of the banks, they're stealing, and they're being rewarded for stealing even more, embezzling money. And yet the Nabi told us they're not the biggest thieves. He says sallallahu alaihi wasallam, أسرق الرجل الذي يسرق صلاته لا يتم ركوعه ولا سجوده. The biggest thief is the one who steals from his prayer. He doesn't make ruku correctly, he doesn't make sajda correctly. When he prays, he's just up and down. The Nabi said, don't pray like a chicken. Don't pray like a chicken. So they would look at that man before they did anything to see how does this man pray. They find that the man is praying quickly. He doesn't do raf'ul yadayn. If he didn't do raf'ul yadayn, they would go and say, why? If he said, my imam said, they would say, but what about the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam? If the man didn't give a competent answer, they would say, ma salama. Now look at us. Someone comes to you to marry your daughter, and you find out, does he drink khamr? If they say yes, he drinks khamr, you're going to say, you can't marry my daughter, and rightly so. But do we ask the question, does he pray? Does he pray? Wallahi, the one who doesn't pray is doing a bigger crime and sin than the one who's drinking khamr. But with us, the khamr is bigger than abandoning salah. Abandoning salah is kufr. Drinking khamr is a kabira from a kaba'ir, but it's not kufr. Everybody here, if we knew the man is drinking khamr, smoking crack, smoking weed, he wants to marry my daughter, we're going to say, wallahi, never, and rightly so. And I'm telling you, abandoning salat is bigger than that. But we don't ask that question. And if we found out he didn't pray, it's okay, because he has a good job.